hadith is in Sahih Muslim that our Prophet ﷺ came across the Sahaba one day. They were sitting in the masjid. He came and they were having a heated discussion. So he said to them, "What are you discussing?" So they said, "We are talking about when Qiyamah will happen. We're talking about making a guess, when will Qiyamah happen?" So the Prophet ﷺ said, "Qiyamah will not happen until you see its 10 signs." So now he said there are 10 signs that are directly linked to Qiyamah. There are 10 that are definitely in a different category. Qiyamah will not happen until you see its 10 signs. Then he mentioned them one by one, and I'm going to quickly list them now, and inshallah later on in our series we'll go over each one of them in a lot of detail. Number one, he said the dukhan. Dukhan is a dust, smoke, smog, the dukhan. And by the way, all 10 of these are specific. These are not trends. All 10 of these are one-off incidents. So these 10, it is a clear-cut sign. Something major is going to happen, catastrophic, cataclysmic, and everybody will recognize this is one of those major signs. So number one, the dukhan. Now, and this is not in order, we're going to mention this. This is just 10 that he said, they don't necessarily be in this order. Number two, the Dajjal. And that is a long discussion, we'll talk about that. Number three, the Dabba. And the Dabba is the beast. And he's mentioned in the Quran. Number four, the rising of the sun from the west. So the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. One day it will rise from the west. Number five, Nuzulu Isa ibn Maryam, the coming down of Isa ibn Maryam. Okay, this is a specific incident, and that is not ambiguous at all, very clear. Number six, Ya'juj and Ma'juj, and the coming of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Okay, that is a major sign, and we'll talk about them and some of the problems that are raised by this issue. We'll talk about it very frankly when we get to inshallah. Number 7, 8, and 9, 3 zalazil, 3 earthquakes that will shake the world. There's going to be major. This isn't a regional earthquake. These are earthquakes that essentially the world will know it is an earthquake. 3 zalazil that will shake the world. In one hadith, each next one will be bigger than the first one. So it's going to be 3 consecutive earthquakes that are, the whole world will know that there is an earthquake taking place. And then he said, وَآخِرُهُنَّ, the last of these signs, number 10, the last of these signs is a blazing fire that will emanate in Yemen and will force the people towards Ard al-Mahshar, or the land of resurrection. The land of resurrection. The very last sign of Judgment Day will be the fire that will force people to gather in one place, and that will be the end of humanity in that one place, which is going to be in Bilad al-Sham, as we will come to when we come to it. In another hadith he said, any time.
Stop, so many people are going to hell. Please share this video and tag someone in this video. There are so many people right now dying in the Middle East. And you know what? I don't know if they know Jesus. I don't know if they know the Son of God that paid the price for their life. Well, guess what? You have an opportunity every day to tell people around you about Jesus. There may even be someone from the Middle East that comes across a video you share about Jesus. So here's what I want you to do. Don't just keep scrolling. I want you to go and I want you to make your own video and share the good news of Jesus. If you want to commit to doing that, do me a favor, let me know in the comment section, say I'm in. You may think it's stupid, but it's not. That one video could change someone's life. Right now the gospel is being preached like crazy in Afghanistan by the Christians, even though they're under persecution. The least you can do is make a video sharing about your faith in Jesus.
You never followed me. You never knew me.
But Lord, I did many good things in your church.
Why do you call me Lord? And yet you failed to do what I told you. Hell, you have never been mine.
No.
Now you must go away, for your deeds are evil. Bind him hand and foot.
No.
Take him away.
Then I saw a great white throne, and him who was seated on it. Earth and sky fled from his presence, and there was no place for them. And I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and books were opened. Another book was opened, which is the book of life. The dead were judged according to what they had done as recorded in the books. The sea gave up the dead that were in it, and death and Hades gave up the dead that were in them, and each person was judged according to what he had done. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. The lake of fire is the second death. If anyone's name was not found written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying,
Now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away.
He who was seated on the throne said,
I am making everything new.
Then he said,
Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true.
He said to me,
It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To him who is thirsty, I will give to drink without cost from the spring of the water of life. He who overcomes will inherit all this, and I will be his God, and he will be my son.